Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live section. So guys, today we'll be looking at something very important, and that is IPOB and insecurity analysis. You guys know that every attack happening in the east, in the eastern region of Nigeria, they accuse IPOB of launching it. And now let's now see who is the who are the people that are actually doing this thing. Let's know if it's Nigerian government or IPO. We're going to look deep down into this topic because it's now too much. All the attack happening in Yamufu, everywhere in Nigeria, most especially the east, they will call IPOB. So we're going to look, by the end of this live section, you're going to know if it's actually IPOB or Nigerian government that is doing this thing. Now let's just go straight into what we have. Now, the question we ask is, who caused the insecurity in the east after Kanu's arrest? Who caused it? Because they said Kanu has been inciting people. Kanu has been ordering violence. There is nothing they did not accuse him of. They accuse him of terrorism, financing terrorism, and a lot of them. They accuse him of this thing. Now, we are not asking ourselves, who now is the okay, since they are saying that before he was arrested, that he's the one causing the insecurity in the east. So now that he has been arrested, who is now the person, or who are the group that are causing insecurity in the east? We need to ask ourselves this question. Now, before Nnamdi Kanu was abducted, the east was peaceful. You and I can attest to this. The east was peaceful. Like, Nigeria, or the eastern region of Nigeria, has experienced high level of insecurity after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. I am telling you the truth. After he has been arrested, the eastern region of Nigeria experienced high level of insecurity. That was when we started hearing gunmen. We started hearing unknown gunmen. People were now dying so much in the east. So before Nnamdi Kanu was adopted, the East was calm. The East, there was peace in the East. Now, what is happening after his arrest? Unknown gunmen are everywhere. What changed? What changed? That's the question. What changed? Who benefits from this chaos? Who are the people that are organizing this attack and benefiting from it? Because you cannot say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS custody is still the one. Someone that is in custody, you cannot say he's still the one organizing this attack in the east, as they said he was doing before. They said he was the one that used to attack and everything. He has been the one kidnapping, causing violence, killing. Guys, do you know that since he has been in custody, no police, no soldier, no civilian has come out to say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did this or did that? None of them. How do you describe a terrorist? People were thinking that DSS is going to, show Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or bring out weapons, bunch of weapons, trailer load of weapons that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kept somewhere. But guys, they have not even found a cutlass or a knife with him. How do you describe a terrorist? These Fulani men that are killing people every time, these are the people you call terrorists. Their true definition of terrorists, because they are armed men. A terrorist must be armed. If you're not armed, you're not a terrorist. So you can see that the man they are calling terrorist has no single weapon, even a cutlass. Now, in Edo State, let me just recall what happened in Romi in Edo State. These people were seen with gun. They call them hunters. People that have not seen with gun at all. They can't even, like I said, we were expecting DSS to bring trailer load of weapons, AKs, bullets, filled in a trailer. We were expecting to see weapons, because the way they labeled him a terrorist, they did not think twice. They did not even do any investigation. They just said, this man is a terrorist. This man They just locked him up for for so many years. So you can see that they called him a terrorist, but they don't even know the true definition of terrorist. A man that is not linked to any violence. You have not given evidence where he's, personally, he was ordering an attack. They said he transmitted, they said he has imported transmitter. People that said it cannot even bring shipping documents. They cannot bring shipping documents. You see that these people they don't have any, case with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but they have refused to, admit this fact. They have refused to admit it. Terrorists get amnesty in Nigeria, but the Igbos get bullets. The Igbos are the ones that are being persecuted because they don't want an Igbo man to be in any, position. They'll be killing the Igbos. They'll say it's IPOB, Eastern Security Network. But those terrorists that are killing people, that you will see them with arms, they are not even hiding. They're on the social media. They come and, there are videos of them. They will give them amnesty when they are being captured. But the Igbos, once they say the truth, they'll be persecuted. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is saying the truth. Now he's paying the price of the truth he said. What is happening in this country? So now we're going to still, look deep into this, because the allegation, now I just believe that people are realizing. Now I'll still play a video for you guys to watch, and a Calabar man. You guys know that Calabar is south. That's the truth. But he has disconnected himself from being from Calabar being south. He said that he can never be south, that is southeast. That we are Biafrans. If the governor of Calabar cannot believe we are Biafrans, we should go and rest. That everybody in Calabar is what? Biafrans. So you can see what is happening. Everybody is now realizing what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is saying. People that didn't believe in him, they are now believing in him now. They're not believing in him now. So now, before Nnamdi Kanu was adopted, East was peaceful. Now, unknown gunmen are everywhere. What changed? Who benefits from this chaos? That's the question we need to be asking. Who are these people that are doing this thing? How can IPOB be fighting their fellow? How can Igbos be fighting their fellow Igbo people? The East was at peace, and then when they arrested Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, chaos started, violence started. So who is doing this thing? Is it the same Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that is still ordering the attack in DSS custody? That's to tell you that it is no Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He is innocent of all the allegations by Nigerian government. That's to tell you. Now let's still move on. I want to be looking deep down into the analysis of IPOB and insecurity, because they said that they are the ones causing insecurity in the East, which they can't even prove. They cannot prove or give evidence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu personally giving direct order of violence. They cannot. Now, let's ask yourself, who created the insecurity in the East after Nnamdi Kanu was adopted in Kenya? Why were they unknown gunmen then when he was free? And why is the Nigerian government quick to negotiate with armed terrorists in the north, but mercilessly crush unarmed protesters in the East? Let's ask ourselves this question. Like I said, we're going to look down, because we're going to, by the end of this live session, you're going to be convinced truly that IPOB cannot the ones causing the insecurity in the East. Now, again, let's ask ourselves, who created the insecurity in the East after Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was adopted in Kenya? And then, why was they? Because when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was a free man, before he was adopted, there was nothing like unknown gunmen. You guys know that. There was nothing like unknown gunmen because they claim that he's the one ordering the attacks happening. There was violence in the east and so on. But then when he was free, there was no attack in the east. There was nothing like unknown gunmen when he was free. And then let's ask ourselves, and why is the Nigerian government quick to negotiate with armed terrorists in the north, but mercilessly crushes on armed protesters in the east? When you go out to protest to say you're hungry, they will arrest you. But you see bandits who have been unaliving thousands of people, the government will negotiate with them. And you're telling me this is a government. You're telling me that Nigeria has not finished. What kind of country is this that Nigerian, a government that that have the that have that how will I put it, that regards its citizen will be negotiating with bandits? Nigerian government is quick to negotiate with armed terrorists, the people that are armed with guns, weapons, bullets, AKs, AK-47 and so on, machine guns. These are the true definition of terrorists. They are the true definition of terrorists. But you see Nigerian government negotiating with them in the north, but then arrest unarmed protesters in the east, unarmed agitators in the east. Tonight, we will peel back the layers of deception. We will analyze the real architectures of insecurity in the east, and will take an unfiltered look at IPOB's impact, Nnamdi Kanu's ideology, and why the Nigerian state seems terrified of a single man in handcuffs. See, they said IPOB is an illegal organization. So why are they so interested in him? Why? Let's ask ourselves that question. Now, let me take you back to 2012 to 2021. The IPOB under Nnamdi Kanu was non-violence. Rallies, protests, sit-at-home campaign, no armed wings. Security in the southeast was stable compared to the northeast, ravaged by Boko Haram. You guys know then when Nnamdi Kanu was still a free man, all we were hearing was Boko Haram bombing the north. We hear Boko Haram did this in the northeast. In fact, the north was boiling. But you see, after he was arrested, you see that these people are truly scared of Nnamdi Kanu. Then after they adopted him, we started seeing it in the, similar things in the east. People started dying. They were known unknown gunmen, no mass arrestation, no unknown gunmen, no mysterious killing of traditional rulers and security personnel in the east. The game changed after June 2021. Nnamdi Kanu was adopted in Kenya, extraordinarily rendered to Nigeria in violation of international law. Yes, international law were against it. They said it was illegal. The fact he was adopted in Kenya was illegal. And Nigerian law too were also against it. So now, almost immediately, mass killers emerged. Targeted assassination. Guys, you can see. Now, who benefits from this chaos? Certainly not IPOB. Not the people, but maybe those who want to discredit IPOB. Guys, you can see, remember I said at the end of this live section, you're going to be convinced that the insecurity happening in the East is not IPOB. You're going to be truly convinced because I'm going to give you points that will prove that truly the insecurity happening in the East is not IPOB. Drop a comment below. Let me know your own thoughts on this headline. So, the unknown gunmen, who are these people? Let's ask ourselves. Who are the real who why are no real arrests made? I'll take it again. Who are these people, these unknown gunmen? Why are no real arrests made? Why is it that they don't arrest them? Why do these attacks often, happen with IPOB protests or court hearings? testimonies from local often conflicts with official media reports. So now, resurrecting Igbo, you know that IPOP's impact is actually for the good of the Igbos. Like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's mission is just for the betterness of the Igbos' lives. Now, before Kanu, many Igbos, especially post-war generation, had no understanding of what happened from 1966 to 1970. IPOB revived collective historical memory, the genocide, the betrayal, the deception of one Nigeria. Now let's talk about the stopped Ruga. The attempt to force Fulani settlements into ancestral Igbo lands. We're talking about the political victories now. The stopped Ruga, the attempt to force Fulani settlements into ancestral Igbo land, because the plan was to, for Fulani to settle in Igbo land. And you know what that means. You know what that means. Once they settle in Igbo land, once this Fulani enters Igbo land, they're going to take over, just like what they did in Hausa land. They took over Hausa land. So once these people enter, they will take over, they will dominate Igbos, and Igbos will be seen as foreigners. In fact, no Igbo people will even want to be in Igbo land because it's already dominated by Fulani men. So they stopped that Ruga. They exposed the Water Resource Bill, a disguised land grabbing policy that would have been handed Igbo waterway to the federal government at Fulani and Fulani elites. So you can see what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done. One, he stops the Ruga. Two, he exposed the Water Resources Bill, a disguised land grabbing policy that would have handed Igbo waterways to federal government and Fulani elites. The other one is IPOB activism forced state governors to reject these policies. Now, internationalization of Biafran question. For the first time in decades, international media, CNN, Al Jazeera, UN firms started reporting on Biafran again. For the first time in decades, these are the impacts of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then, Kanu presented the Biafran case at the EU Parliament and the UN corridors. Now, mobilization without violence. Mass sit-at-home campaigns without gun. Radio Biafra inspired millions across the world. Radio Biafra is the weapon of Nigerian government. Is the weapon of Nigerian government. Is the weapon of Nigerian government, Radio Biafra, because they know that he uses Radio Biafra to expose Nigerian government. That is why they went after him. That is why they went after him. They are making sure they bring him down. So now, the power of media to awaken a sleeping people. Radio Biafra is also is used to wake up people that are asleep, people that their eyes are closed, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was advising them of the dangers of Fulanis. Some people's eyes were, they were sleeping. That was that Radio Biafra helped a lot to, they said he incited. I don't even see what is even inciting, because what I know is using that Radio Biafra to expose Nigerian government. So now, not terrorist. We're not talking about not terrorists versus Eastern activists. Boko Haram commanders get released via deradicalization and granted lands. Boko Haram commanders, they are being released, because let's look at this very, very well now. We're talking about northern terrorists and eastern activists. You know what terrorism means, or you know what terrorist means, or you know what a terrorist, who is a terrorist, and then you know what eastern activists, people that are speaking the truth, people that are fighting for something good. So now, speaking of for people, let me use that word. Now, Boko Harams in Nigeria are being released via the radicalization and granted lands, meaning that Boko Haram, people that have been unaliving thousands, even in decades, they are being released. And not just that, they reward them lands for buying people. Bandit leaders negotiate openly with governors and they give them CUVs, and they're gifted CUVs. Bandit leader negotiate, just like the one that happened at De Alore, openly negotiated with, the people of Katsina State. Hopefully, they must have gifted him something. Meanwhile, peaceful IPOB rallies are met with bullets, tear gas, and DSS kidnapping. When IPOB they are doing their rally, you will see them throwing bullets, you know, opening firearms, tearing, violence. DSS to be kidnapping, arresting people. Because you will call it kidnap because these people have not done anything to say you want to come and arrest them. Let's talk about the unjust treatment of Nnamdi Kanu. The extraordinary redemption from Kenya. One, no court warrant, no Interpol process, no legal extradition. They brought him back from Kenya, no court warrants, and even foreigners has said no, that it's not supposed to be like that. They held they held him in DSS custody with severe human rights abuse, isolation, denial of medical access, mock trials. Nigerian government refused to obey court orders for his release, even when the court, Nnamdi Kanu, has been acquitted, but for some reasons best known to them, Nigerian government has refused to obey court orders for his release. If IPOB is illegal, truly, because they said he's illegal, IPOB is an illegal organization. If IPOB is illegal, then why is no conviction since 2015? Why is no refutation of Kanu's arguments in any televised debate or court of law? Why is there no use of force instead of law? Nigerian's law often resorts to technicalities, not evidence of ideology. Let me just play a video of this guy that was talking about that Calabar people now are now southeast, that everyone is Biafra.
We say una no get sense. How una go dey open una dirty mouth, una stupid mouth, una stupid fake geography mouth they call Cross River State south. Now they mad. Cross River State is southeast. We are Biafrans. If the governor of Cross River State did not support Biafra, he's a bastard. Doesn't know it's rude. If you know anybody that is in Cross River State that did not support Biafra is pursuing the money. How can a Yoruba man and a Hausa man come and tell us where we come from? Oh, but go look map now. You gonna say you are a Cross River State. I'm talking about Cross River State. Cross River State is the southeast, and anybody that did not say that did not support Cross River State is a bastard. We come from the southeast. We are Biafrans. Akwa Ibom State, they fit go because they don't know. They know Akwa Ibom State. They are money conscious. Akpabi have misled them. All of them that are in Akwa Ibom State, they don't know where they come from. But in Cross River State, how must you call Cross River State? The South, Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State, they are southeast. Those state and Delta State, with that, and those ones in a zombie, they don't know where they go. They have jobless youth. But let's talk about Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State. We are Biafrans. Release our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Release that man, not do anything. Release him. You release Sunday Igbohu. And all the Boko Harams, they have been repented. They have repentance Boko Haram because they come from the north. Release Nnamdi Kanu. Release that man, not do anything. Now and any South, any Cross River state or Akwa Ibom state that is not supporting this movement is a bastard. What is the word una so that they grace? Obasanjo said that Obasanjo and Co. Then plant and Tinubu here, then plant and sell the Bakassi Peninsula to the Cameroon because they know that is our mineral resources that we have in the southeast. Because of their wickedness, now Lagos is jam-packed. Look at what is happening in Lagos. Lagos is jam-packed. You understand? Make sure they talk the truth. And all those people who go to the Bishop for Alaba International Market, they are bastards. Look, come back to we are Biafrans, we are not Nigerians. So whatever you want, last week, they come and kidnap me in my house. Nigerian police, they come and kidnap me in my house. I was in a police station, I spent millions of naira, and I did not pay it down. I did not see my complainant and everything. So Nigeria is a criminal country. I said it. I'm not going to hide it. So any Akwa Ibom and Cross River that not support Biafra is a bastard. Forget about Deltas. Forget about Delta. Osaro Dokumbo is a bandit. Sponsored by these criminals. So you people should know what you are doing, no? We are Biafrans. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu will not do anything. If you want to catch the terrorists, go to Bonu, go to Meduguri, go and catch terrorists. Terrorists, they are not in the Biafran land. We are Biafran. Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State, they are Biafrans. Take it or you leave it. Release Nnamdi Kanu, God punish you. Anybody where they have, where they are arresting Magazine Nnamdi Kanu, you can nonsense with that one.
So, guys, you hear what that man said. He's now saying that Calabar is now from the southeast. You can see that every tribe now in Nigeria wants to be a Biafran person because there's no use. Like, what has Nigeria done for us? That you're in Nigeria, you're in bondage, or you're being called Nigeria, you're in bondage. That you're being called Nigeria, you're in bondage. So you can see that even Ijaw people are now realizing, oh, what even the North? I was even surprised that an APC man had to come out, an APC member had to come out and he's actually a Northern man. He came out and was like, the only thing that can restore peace and unity in Nigeria is, in fact, he sent a message to Tinubu. He was advising him that if he wants to better Nigeria, that the only thing that can bring peace and unity in Nigeria is to release Nnamdi Kanu. That's just it. They are holding him there for nothing. If they said he's a terrorist, then they should stop wasting people's time and bring evidence. Okay, let's know that Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist. But there's no evidence. There's no evidence at all. You can see after the DSS witness, they couldn't even prove. The judge had to get angry. People were thinking that they are going to come with different weapons to show that Nnamdi Kanu was the one that kept it. But no, take a look at what this lawyer said.
So far, no strong evidence has been adduced by the prosecution against Nnamdi Kanu. Look at it. The prosecution, or one of their prosecution witnesses, I think Mr. BBB or so, all the things they asked him was saying no. At a point, the judge or Justice Omoto got angry and was reprimanding them that if they don't have any matter they should stop coming and all that. It happened. So there was nothing concrete. I was thinking they are going to present a cache of arms stockpiled by Nnamdi Kanu somewhere. Because how can you be a terrorist without gun, Mr. Okoro? Mention anywhere in the world where you see terrorists without a single, not even cutlass with them.
You are a lawyer. What about inciting people? Because they also said it was inciting people.
What are you talking about? Inciting in what way? Hold on.
They recovered radio Biafra equipment from him.
Hold on, please. That is not one of the hallmark of a terrorist. Politicians do incite people. True of us. Politicians, were you not here when somebody told you that God told him that they should kill Tinubu's wife, Oluremi, that she's an infidel? Did it not happen in this country? That man was not even arrested, not to talk of questioning. What does that tell you? That one is even worse. The man said it, Sheikh Tanshi. So when you are talking of incitement, I don't know what people are talking about. That is not the hallmark. That's not the prescription of a terrorist. Terrorists mean you are heavily armed, killing people, taking up territories, destroying villages and all that.
The terrorists also attack soft targets deliberately.
You say what?
They deliberately attack soft targets.
They don't look, as long as they're terrorists.
Because this affection between the government and the people.
Listen very well. A terrorist is a terrorist. And there are prescriptions. That's why no nation in the whole world has seen Nnamdi Kanu as a terrorist or IPOB as a terrorist group. Because they know how to describe a terrorist or terrorist organization. They know. This thing that killer Fulani herdsmen are doing is a perfect description of terrorism. Perfect description. But the federal government of Nigeria don't want to see that. They are still calling it a farmer header class. Do they need all the forests, all the land in the whole of Nigeria to do their business? If it is farmer header clash, no, tell me. You mean they don't have a place? You know, you had when Niger State to call them, come. If you are looking for land, we have more than enough. Kano State to call them, come. We have more than enough. Did they listen? They said no. So if it is land they are looking for, the states have promised them, come and take as much as you like a Niger State. Niger State has the size of the whole of Southwest.
Okay.
So why couldn't they go there if they are looking for land? If they are looking for land, I'm talking of a land that is twice the size of Lagos State. You can get it in Niger State, and yet there's vast area still left. 76,000.
Barrister, we are left with just 1 minute now. On the 18th of July, the prosecution and the defense will make their final addresses. What do you expect?
I cannot speak to them. The fact is that they have closed their case, Abi. Yes, the procedure and processes are going on fine.
Okay.
But from the look of things, it looks like the federal government have nothing against Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay. So
yes.
So they are likely to let him go.
Well, is it not obvious? Is it not obvious when they don't have any strong evidence against him? I told you here. If they have come out and said, look, it was Nnamdi Kanu, the whole of one part of Imo State, he occupied it, he killed every people, he did this, he did, that he made the broadcast. Who told you?
Okay.
So these other ones that are killing in Benue, it was Nnamdi Kanu that incited them to, Abi. It was Nnamdi Kanu. He was the one that incited them. Why didn't they say that?
Well, Barrister, July 18th is about a month away from today, so let's see what goes on before then and on that day. This will be a good place to anchor this conversation.
So guys, probably Nnamdi Kanu will be released because Nigerian government has no case against him. So before you talk about IPOB today, you must understand its past, because those who forget where they started from are born to repeat the same mistake. This is a story not just of struggle, but of betrayal, loyalty, and power, and the undying flame of Biafra. Today, we take old and new members of indigenous people of Biafra down memory lane back to March 14th, 2017 and beyond. While Nnamdi Kanu was set in Kuje prison, unjustly detained for demanding self-determination, something dark unfolded within the movement he built with blood and sacrifice. Now, this is the night of betrayal. This was how they betrayed Nnamdi Kanu. There are many people that betrayed him, and we need to detect, because I know that there are many people in BF, or there are many members of IPOB that betrayed Nnamdi Kanu, and we need to detect these people and take them back. Know them and know that these people are not true members of IPOB. On March 14th, 2017, Emma Emezu of blessed memory, once a respected figure, launched Radio Biafra International with his gang inside the DOS, that's the Directorate of State. But this wasn't about expanding IPOB media. It was a coup in disguise, funded as late discovered by Senator Oju Uzor Kalu. The aim was to destabilize IPOB from within. So now I just feel that this DOS, people think DOS is Biafra, but these people are members, they are just betrayals. That is to tell you that even people that came to testify against Simeon Ekpa, were members of DOS. So you can't tell me that these people are true members that is supporting Nnamdi Kanu. This betrayal forced Nnamdi Kanu to dismiss them permanently, but instead of repentance, they took their bitterness and ambition elsewhere. Fast forward to after Kanu's extraordinary redemption from Kenya back to Nigeria, IPO was at its most vulnerable. Sadly, some of the survivors of the 2017 betrayals like Chika, Edozim, and Chukwudi of former teens learned from this past. They chose rebellion again, not against Nigeria this time, but against Kanu's own instructions from DSS detention. This was the orders of Kanu. His orders were ignored. Nnamdi Kanu, even in solitary confinement, remained the supreme leader. Yet his clear instruction was ignored. According to Kanu, he said, "Do not sack any principal officer I appointed unless I instruct so. Do not open my IPOB bank account in South Africa." Now, these are the instructions that was ignored by these people that are not trained members of IPOB. We need to know them now and, really know that, okay, or isolate from them so that history will not repeat again, or what happened then will not repeat again. Because I know that once they release, I'm saying this thing because once they release Mazen and Kanu, those people that betrayed him will now start coming back to him. So it is so good that we chase them out and forever to know that they are not true members of IPOB. According to Mazen Namdekanu's instruction, he said, "Do not sack any principal officer I appointed unless I instruct so. Do not open any IPOB bank account in South Africa. All donations must go through the worldwide account only. Do not pamper with the Italian national coordinator. Announce the German national coordinator I have appointed immediately." Did HODs, Chika, Edoziem carry out even one of these? Ask yourself, ask your conscience. They claim to follow Mazi Kanu, but their actions showed they were serving their own pockets and pride. Now, here's where they betrayed, the betrayal got worse. Inside source alleged that these same individuals collected money from Senator Hope Uzodinma, challenged through Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lawyer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once trusted with everything. You can see that even Southeast governors are even against IPOB, people like Hope Uzodinma. That is why Hope Uzodinma will come and tell you today, or he will come and tell you that any attack that happened in Imo State, he will tell you that these people are actually IPOB, not Fulani men, always backing Fulani men and their cows. So they said that inside source alleged that these same individuals collected money from Senator Hope Uzodinma, channeled through Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the lawyer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once trust with everything. Why Kanu sit? Why Kanu sit in darkness? Solitary confinement in DSS. These men created their own faction. They created their own factions. IPOB leaders separate from real IPOB family. So you can see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was truly betrayed in all round. Imagine Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, betrayed him, collected money from Hope Uzodinma. That's the lawyer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once trusted with everything. Why Kanu sits in darkness? Solitary confinement in DSS. These men created their own faction, IPOB leadership, separate from the real IPOB family. But what they forgot is Biafra is not a personal brand. It is the divine project of Chukwu Okike Abiyama. That is what they forget. Now, let's ask ourselves again. Which of Kanu's directive did Chika, Edoziem and his group obey? Why did they form a new leadership when IPOB already had one? Why was there an attempt to control funds after Kanu outside Kanu's guidelines? Why do they fear accountability? These are the things we need to ask. That's to tell you truly, there are people that call themselves IPOB members, but they were not. When Kanu was in DSS custody, they never obeyed any of Kanu's instruction, they ignored it. And don't be surprised, once they release Kanu, you will see them coming back to claim their IPOBs. Already the world knows that these people are betrayers, they are saboteurs. Now, Chinasa Wore before, Chinasa Woru before shouting blackmail, go back and re-listen to your own past broadcast. The truth has a way of echoing louder than lies. I believe in the diocese, not IPOB leadership. Now, let it be clear to all. There's a difference between IPOB leadership and the original Directorate of State. The backbone of IPOB under Nnamdi Kanu's spiritual guidance. The true Biafrans are those still following his spoken and written orders, not those who invented their own power center. These are the true people like Ejimako, Aloy Ejimako. These are the true Biafrans. These are the true Biafrans and those who are still following the spoken written and the spoken and written orders of Nnamdi Kanu, not those who invented their own power center. IPOB is not about who is shouting the loudest. It's about who is obeying the voice of the one who paid the price. That's just it. IPOB is not about who is shouting the loudest. It's about who, because you will see many people online now saying, shout. When you go to social media, you will see people that are coming out to say a lot. IPOB is not about, or being an IPOB member is not about, or to check the person that is a true member of the IPOB is not about the person that is shouting more or the person that his voice is loud. No, it's about who is following the voice of the one who paid the price. These are the true members of IPOB. The truth is bitter, but it must be told. That's it. If you're new to IPOB, don't just follow social media noise. Study history, trace the betrayer, find the facts. If you're old in this movement, ask yourself, have you kept the covenant and obedience? Have you kept the covenant of obedience and unity? So if you're new to IPOB, don't just follow what you're seeing on social media, because social media will mislead you and you will start talking against IPOB. You have to study the history, trace the betrayal, find the facts. If you're old in this movement, ask yourself, have you kept the covenant of obedience and unity? We are not here to destroy anyone. We are here to preserve the scared truth left by our supreme leader. IPOB is not a playground for egos. It is the holy altar of Biafran restoration. I repeat, IPOB is not a playground for egos. It is the holy altar of Biafran restoration. I repeat again, IPOB is not the playground of egos. It is the holy altar of Biafran restoration. So IPOB is not a playground for egos, it's the holy altar of Biafran restoration. This struggle is spiritual. You may betray a man, but you cannot deceive Chuko Kika Abiyama. You can stab IPOB at their back, but you cannot defeat Chuko Kika Abiyama. So many people are coming to realization that IPOB, Nigeria will soon divide. Nigeria will soon divide. Many people are saying it, that Nigeria will soon divide. Take a look at what this man said.
We're not going to stop telling ourselves the truth as northerners, whether you like it or not, whether it hurts or it doesn't. but we're just going to have no option than to tell ourselves the truth. The fact is, your ideology, our ideologies and concept as Northerners is retrogressive in nature, is anti-developmental in nature, is holding the country back in so many ways. Let's be factual with this. Let's look at it. When the headers started making all this havoc on communities, people advocated for the anti-open grazing bill. Who were the front runners in regards ensuring that this bill doesn't come through? The Northerners. They kicked against it seriously, that at the end of the day it could not scale through. And here do we have a situation now where the Fulanis have migrated from making havoc on the north to the other parts of the country. And funny enough, you went against this bill, but when Fulanis are now committing this havoc on people, you tend to dissociate yourself. You say that it's not a northern thing, it's a Fulani thing. Nobody can tell me that. It's a northern thing, it's a northern ideology. So let's not distinguish between the tribes, because the last time I checked, the Northerners were the strong advocates. Majority of the Northerners opposed the bill. And look at what open grazing is doing to us. How long are we going to go this way? Again, look at what happened in regards to the closure of school during Ramadan. A lot of people, reasonable Nigerians, came out to say that this is wrong, this is anti-developmental. It doesn't stop you from doing your religion, it doesn't stop you from being who you are. But what did the North do? A quite majority were celebrating and were saying this is a good thing, this is a very big progress for the propagation of the gospel of God. And look at where we are now. So how are you going to tell me that the Northerners are not hypocritical in nature? And let's face it, this is what the politicians do, and who are their disciples? Their disciples are the common Northerners, the majority that are poor. The second point is the fact that when there was a bill in regards birth regulation, what happened? Who were the front runners in ensuring that that bill doesn't come through? It was still the North. I remember a senator coming to the Senate House with 5 or 6 of his wife, trying to convince people how he is happily married and is responsible. But let's face it, Oga, if you are capable, you have the capacity to marry 5 wives and have many children as much as you want. What now happens to your brothers, those that doesn't have the capacity and are marrying so many women and are giving birth to so many children that they can't control? Is it the same thing? How long are we going to continue this as Northerners? It's so appalling. Until you wake up, you will always be considered inferior to any other region. And the fact is, don't expect that no matter the agitation, no matter your grievances, this will bring it to a standstill. It's still going to continue till you change your mentality, till you change your orientations, till the common man in the north starts challenging these allies that have hold you at ransom. How many of the allies do you have their children in Almajiri schools? Why should you open Almajiri schools and send children to Malams that doesn't even have the capacity to feed his own family? And you tell me that this is not a northern agenda, and you tell me the problem of the north is not itself. The problem is we. We are the problem. Until we wake up, nothing is going to change. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Who were as well the major advocates of the Muslim ticket? The North. The North. And where has it brought us? Look at where it has brought us. And I'm telling you wholeheartedly that that concept has not yet changed. It's still in the minds of the Lord. They're still waiting for the next election. During the Muslim tickets, a lot of imams were preaching with video evidence. Even some top politicians, top northern politicians, preaching, telling them on the need for us to, for the North to have a Muslim ticket that will promote the establishment of the kingdom of God. Indeed, the kingdom of God is established. You are all welcome to the kingdom of God.
So, guys, this man has just exposed, he has truly exposed Nigerian government. In fact, the Northerners, let me just put it that way, the Northerners, they are the ones doing all these things, but they will call IPOP. You know, the Northerners, he said the Northerners are the problem of Nigeria. The Northerners, they are the true problem of Nigeria. They are the ones, you know, they are the true problem of Nigeria. But they will call Igbos. They will, you know, Terrorists get amnesty, people that are armed, but Igbos, they get bullets in return of, saying that they are hungry. They'll be arrested. That is it. This is what we see in Nigeria. This is what we see in Nigeria. So Igbos are the ones they persecute. This man said Northerners are because when they brought, why he said so is because of the anti-open grazing bill that was supposed to like set limits for these Fulani men. What happened? What happened to it? The Northerners were against it, and now the Northerners are on the run. They are the ones that caused the expansionism of this of Fulani men. They were the cause of the expansionism of Fulani men. So guys, we have come to the end of this live section. Do want to drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to, like I said, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.